Tony Hawk is in here sitting with us. Welcome to the show, man.
Oh, thank you.
Now, he's written a book. It's called Occupation Skateboarder, Tony Hawk.
I don't think we ever have had as many of the employees of this building bringing their sons in to meet this young man. Tony is arguably the greatest skateboarder ever. He created about 50 different maneuvers that kids are still doing to this day. Got the book now, but of course the video games that kids are playing with now. I think my son's got one. This is a unique way to make a living.
Yeah.
You take something like a childhood hobby, how old were you when you began skateboarding?
About 10.
Okay, now, why is it that you became so good on it?
I think I've just always wanted to keep getting better at it, and no matter how far I progressed, even in competition, if I was winning competitions or whatever, I always wanted to keep improving myself. It wasn't that I was just happy to be winning. I just wanted to keep learning, and even through the really dead years of skating when there weren't too many people doing it, it wasn't really considered a cool thing to do. I just kept doing it.
Wow. It's kind of like Tiger Woods, what you're talking about. Tiger Woods.
I don't know if golf ever went out of style, though.
It didn't. But Tiger Woods had the same kind of attitude. Matter of fact, he snuck on a golf course yesterday to get a practice round in.
Right.
Oh, wow.
What the hell?
But you're responsible, like Tiger, for golf. You're responsible for bringing so many people into the world of skateboarding. How huge has this become, and where's it going to go?
Well, it's as big as it's ever been, if not bigger, and we see it growing more and more. We see new skate parks opening all the time, and that's a really good sign that there's more interest and more support. And I think the foundation's set so that it's never going to really die off the way it did in the past.
When you started, were you the kid in the backyard who's maybe your dad helped you build a ramp, or were you?
Yeah.
You built your own stuff.
That was me.
Yeah. That was
my
you?
dad. Yeah, my dad built me a little quarter pipe in our alleyway, and
so your parents were supportive. Did they know that you were as dedicated as you were? Did they realize that you wanted to do this?
Yeah, especially when I finally told my dad that I was going to quit Little League the year that he became president of the Little League.
Oh man! Oh man!
Then he knew that I was dedicated.
But it sounds like no matter what you want to do, they're very supportive as long as you.
Yeah, our whole family, my sisters and my brother, they've always been very supportive of our endeavors.
That's great.
Now, if you're talking to a group of kids, and we have to assume there's a lot listening today, that a lot of them may just be starting out or are into it, do you recommend at all times for helmets, elbow pads, knee pads, that kind of thing?
Yeah, especially when they're riding the bigger ramps. I mean, you never know what's going to happen, You're taking a chance every time, and a lot of the kids, especially when they're starting out, they don't realize the dangers or the limitations, and they see us in magazines and in videos, and we've taken years to master this stuff, and they want to go out and immediately do the hardest thing, and you've got to take it slow, and you've got to realize the dangers involved.
Are you hearing that?
Let's go to Larry on line 5. I guess you said something that kind of parted his hair there, Tony. Larry, you're on the air.
Hello. Who do you guys?
Hi.
Hey, I caught your program earlier, and you're talking about the very few overweight skaters. Well, I was one of them.
Oh, that's cool. I had nothing against it. I just said there are very few.
You know what? I loved it. I'm 35 now. I skated in the late 70s. I was the only kid on the block that was overweight. I had to hang with them, so that was my exercise.
Ah, cool.
Oh, that's great.
So it's kind of cool now. I have 2 little girls. So now when their friends come over and they have skateboards, they're into it. I get on there. I'm 6'2" now, about 250.
Oh, wow.
And I get on there and I do 360s, and everybody says, "Hey, you got a cool dad." So, hey, and I notice you on the TV and stuff, and I think you're a pretty good role model for the kids and stuff, and that's what they need today.
Well, thank you.
Thanks, Tony.
Did you have a Hot Wheels track growing up?
Yeah.
You did? Okay, I'm looking through this, and first of all, this book is amazing. It's got beautiful color pictures. I want to show you this last page of this picture.
I saw
That's
that.
him way up there.
That's out of control.
But on the other side of that is this loop-de-loop. A 360 loop,
right.
And you're just right on the top of it. Your head is facing the bottom, and it says the loop, partly inspired by the Hot Wheels racetrack, and that's what it reminded me of.
Yeah, that was. I mean, it's just kind of like what's next, and I remember, setting the Hot Wheels track up and trying to figure out how high to make it so this car will stay on the track.
We'll make it, yeah.
Well, You know, you are the Babe Ruth of this sport, and retired at the age of 31. Where do you want the sport to go? What do you want to accomplish inside of it? Because obviously that's your life.
You know, I just like to I like the path that it's on. I like the fact that it's getting a lot of attention and that people are recognizing the skaters as being legitimate and being dedicated. And, you know, I just think just more support from city councils to build skate parks in their hometowns. You know, if they've got a problem with skaters in their hometown skating private property, then they've got to do something about it. They've got to provide a facility.
Can you imagine this as an Olympic event?
I can, but I don't think it's not really a great concern. You know, we kind of already have our Olympics, and it's like I don't think being in the Olympics is going to make skating any bigger. You know, skating has such a high number of participants in comparison to sports that are already in the Olympics.
Sure.
You know, I mean, I think that there are more skaters than there are, you know, other already established Olympic sports. So we don't really need that sort of recognition.
Well, listen, man, realize that, you know, there's a lot of radio stations or shows that you could have chosen to go to, but you chose ours, and we really do appreciate it.
Oh, thanks.
that.
Yeah, I remember listening to you guys since a long time ago.
Oh, he used to watch the TV show?
Yeah, on the TV show.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I remember
wish
when you guys coached that guy through the date with the really
and she turned
nightmare
out to be
girl.
a nightmare's right.
Yeah, that was all
Wow.
time.
Well, thank you for, as Mark said, thank you for coming in, and please come back when you got something else going on.
Okay,
you're in
thanks.
San Diego. You're pretty close, and thank you for being so kind to all the families here.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
All right,
Thanks.
real quickly, the book is Hawk, Occupation Skateboarder. That's in bookstores today. You can't miss it. It's a bright orange. You won't be able to miss that. Listen, Tony, great meeting you.
All right, you too. Thank you.
Come
Keep
back.
it up.